three right away. Just attack the basket.
You are now listening to the Insight Fantasy Sports Podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Inside NBA show. Mondays are coming in clutch, a weekly show previewing the games ahead every Monday. As always, we are brought here today by the Standard Squeeze, Ryan from Astute Newstead, and a new sponsor, Bonus Bet, which I'll explain that a little bit later on. I'm the Supercoach Mattrix, flying solo today. Everybody's palming me off, but look, we'll keep it nice and short and sweet. There's only 4 games to go through. We're going to go through the most dropped and picked up and why. Just give a little analysis behind it and help you win your round this week on a short game day tomorrow with only 4 games. These days can be really important. So it should be noted that none of these teams are on a back-to-back. So let's head straight into the games. And firstly, we've got the Wizards and the Raptors. I've actually really enjoyed watching the Raptors play. Dennis Schroeder has been really good with his assists. Scotty Barnes, I see a breakout year. Pascal Siakam has been struggling, even though last game was a little bit better. But look, I do think that the Raptors should beat the struggling Wizards. Should be noted that DeLon Wright being out should boost Tyson Poole. I did see some people rage dropping Tyus. He was a little bit disappointing. I did see some people, trying to trade Poole. I've traded for him in some leagues, and hopefully we see Poole reach his potential. DeLon Wright was clogging up about 17 minutes a game, and those are just going to get distributed between Tyus and Poole. Look, the clear winner in small forward has been Denny Avdia, and I believe he should be rostered in your league. The Raptors should win this one. Gary Trent has been trending on the way up. Gary Trent, he's had a steal in his last 3 games, and he's been getting mid-20s in minutes. The opportunity's been there. We sort of look for outside of Scotty and Pirtle, Pascal, and Dennis Schroeder, who's going to be, the next man up, OG, of course, as well. And I think Gary Trent is it, even if he's been underwhelming to pick up the year. Lots of people dropping him as we go along, but still a really good steal streamer. Bilal Coulibaly, the East Coast Cooler, played 33 minutes in the last game. And look, he really did impress. We're going to have a chat about him in the most ads. But the 4 steals, the 4 triples, the 20 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, was really handy in that loss to Brooklyn. Look, Washington should be able to collect a really good draft pick this year. They haven't been fantastic, but Bilal Coulibaly went in 33 minutes. Really impressed. Look, in 20 minutes the week before, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. He's been a little bit hit and miss, but, in his biggest minutes, they're willing to play him if he's hot, which is really good from the coach. He went from 4% rostered to 13% rostered overnight. So Bilal Coulibaly is somebody that you could look to add. Kyle Kuzma expecting another big one, but not too much to look there. Probably more Bilal, Gary Trent, and Danny Avdia if you're looking at adding anyone in this game. The Knicks and the Celtics, I really struggle to find anybody to add. Knicks always being in the spotlight. They're 5-4 at the moment. Everybody's been disappointed in Julius Randle. Just how bad has he been? Last week when I had a look, he was the 263rd ranked player, but he has started to come good in the last 3 games. 27, 23, 8 rebounds, 12 rebounds, 5 assists in the last couple. He started to come good. And in last week's show, Mick and I suggested that you just need to be patient with Julius Randle. You knew that he was going to be poor efficiency-wise. He was shooting about 25% last week, but he has really picked that up. The Knicks are 5-4. They've been going all right. Look, Julius Randle, if you do remember how frustrated you were with him, maybe now is a little bit more. You could sell him at his actual value, being the 43rd ranked player in the last week. You could get rid of him. and try and sell out. But I think with how bad he was earlier on in the season, everybody will still have that in the front of your mind. You didn't get him for his great field goal percentage or anything anyway. Just keep holding on to Julius Randle. When I have a look at the Knicks, only somebody like Quickly, who's been the 111th ranked player thus far, is somebody that you can add. The Celtics, of course, they're big guys. Kristaps Porzingis, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Drew Holiday, even Derek White's owned. Al Horford sort of hasn't proven that he only scored 7 in the last games. He's been getting the minutes, but he just hasn't proven to be rosterable just yet. So really, I'm going to be staying away from the Celtics. Really happy that they have this short roster. I see some guys adding Sam Hauser. I think he's hit 4 and 5 threes. A serviceable threes streamer. He's somebody that you can sort of look at, but he doesn't add a lot of much else. As I have a look, he had 4 rebounds, 1 rebound. He's had 1 assist. He's had 2 assists all year, Sam Hauser. So, just jacks him up. But, in the last 4 games, 4 threes, 5 threes, 3 threes, and 3 threes. A serviceable three streamer, I suppose you can find on that Celtics team. But apart from that, I'm really not too interested in anyone there. We have the Chicago Bulls and we have the Bucks coming up. The Bulls have been pretty ordinary. The Bucks, Giannis just come off a 54-point outing the other day, looking really nice. Jay Crowder's out. I'm going to look for Beasley. I think Beasley is somebody that you can add. Look, Malik, I called it at the start of the year. I just really like his game. And look, he'll probably be defended in Chicago by like DeMar DeRozan or somebody that might be a step slower. Scored 13 points in his last outing with 3 threes, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. But Jay Crowder just really means that his minutes are going to be up. He's sort of been playing that 20. He's definitely been playing more than 20 minutes. Even his first 3 or 4 games, he got into the 30 minutes. I probably expect that he could get into 30 minutes again. He's somebody that does ride the hot hand. So, when you're looking to add him, you know that it could be rocks or diamonds, but that's what you get in a streamer. Doesn't get too many counting stats at all, really. You're not going to see a lot of assists. You're not going to see a lot of rebounds. He's only averaged 1.6 assists for the year, but I do really like Malik Beasley. Just for streaming, not trading for him or anything out of that. He almost fell out of the rotation a little bit earlier on in the year. But with the injuries coming forward, I think that he's somebody that you could, target in your waiver wire pickups. COBY White's been serviceable and could be the best waiver wire stream today. Now let's have a look at some of his stats in his last 3 games. And he's been playing massive minutes as well. He scored 16 with 7 assists and 2 steals and only 1 turnover in the last game. Against Phoenix, he played 37 minutes, got 11 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, and a block. All these numbers just prove that he is somebody that should be owned. 29 minutes, 18 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal. In your waiver wire, you don't get assists, and you don't get assists like this in your waiver wire ever. In the last 7 days, 32 minutes a night, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 6.7 assists, 2 steals, 0.3 blocks, with only 1.3 turnovers. COBY White should be rostered in most leagues. Just the way that he's playing. We've mentioned it many times before that Chicago you look at your DeMar DeRozans, your Zach LaVines, they're owned. Other starters like Patrick Williams and COBY White sort of haven't been. Of course, Nikola Vucevic is owned as well, but they haven't been real deep. And we've just been waiting for someone to put their hand up on the Chicago Bulls and say, hey, I am a rosterable player. And they've absolutely, this man's put his hand up. Look, you're not going to see Lonzo Ball for a long time, maybe not ever. Caruso isn't rosterable. Andre Drummond's only been playing 13.6 minutes a night this year. Look, I was interested in Javon Carter because I did think that he was the best passer, but you know what? In his last 2 games, 12 minutes, 13 minutes, COBY White's put his hand up. He's the man there in Chicago. He's somebody that you could add and maybe on your roster for the whole year with that opportunity there. So love that from COBY White. And the last game, we're looking at the Cavaliers. We're looking at the Kings. Should be actually a really good game. I think that this could be the game of the round. It's probably the one that I'm willing to look at. Looking at the Raptors, I think that's being lopsided. I don't think the Knicks will be able to get it over the Celtics. I don't think the Bulls will be able to get it over the Bucks. But at 10 p.m. Eastern time, you have the Cavaliers versus the Kings. Levert is a good stream option. Let's look at his minutes in the last couple games. 32, 36, and 34 minutes. In the last 3 games scoring, he has scored 22 and 29 in a couple of those games. Look, Levert is a guy that will be dropped and picked up throughout the year, but he is a perfect sort of waiver wire pickup, and he is getting those minutes. He's always been getting the minutes. He's played over 30 minutes in every game that he's played this year. He's had a 30 piece. He's had a 29-point game. He will have those games where he only scores 8 points. But you know what? His rebound numbers have been pretty good this year. He's been getting 4.3 assists this year. He's the 92nd ranked player. He's on your waiver wire in leagues that usually have 144 players. Chris Levert, especially on days where there's not many games on, he really should be owned. Another guy that I'm looking at from the Kings as a streamable player is Kevin Huerter. He's been on a better run with 13, 17, and 28 in his last few games. He got 9 rebounds in his last game as well. Look, he was really ordinary to start the year off. Always sort of considered him a 3 streamer. But yeah, if he's on your waiver wire, especially with those minutes, like he played 39 minutes 2 nights ago for 17, 5, and 4 with a couple of steals. Doesn't kill you in turnovers either. In his last 7 days, he's had like a massive uptick compared to where he was when he started the year. His first game, he scored 7, 0, 12, 11. These last 3 games, he showed some promise. He would have been drafted in most leagues and probably already dropped. Kevin Huerter is somebody that I'm definitely considering adding, especially when you need some, just some points on the board. Again, having a look at Sacramento, they've been a really interesting team this year. Keegan Murray's been pretty good, if not a breakout candidate. Went and scored in 40 minutes, 24 and 11 last game. His steal numbers have been really good too, with 3 in that game. Does get the odd block at nearly a block a game for a power forward, small forward. We still have Fox out on this team. He has been upgraded to doubtful. Probably see him a bit later on in the week. Malik Monk has been somebody that has been streamable. Wasn't the best in the last game, but I suppose getting those 8 and 10 assists in the last couple games. The outlier was that 15-minute game a few games ago. But Malik Monk, Kevin Huerter, I wouldn't be looking anywhere near Davion Mitchell. They're not going real deep this year. The roster-wise, the Kings. So there's some guys I would look to add. Over in Cleveland, of course, your Donovan Mitchell. He's been phenomenal, playing 36 minutes a night. Garland's been playing big minutes as well. Jared Allen's there. Maxi Strus is a pretty good streamer. What I like is he's been just playing a lot of minutes. He's played over 30 minutes in his last few games with 15, 12, and 16. He's been getting... I never considered Maxi Strus a really good rebounder, but he's went and got 7 and 8 in the last couple games. He's been getting 3.5 assists in the last week. Not getting too many blocks, not getting too many steals, but Maxi Strus, apparently he's been the 15th best shooting guard this year, is definitely somebody you could look to add. As we have a look at some of the transaction trends, we'll look at some waiver targets.
Targets acquired.
Bilal Coulibaly, I mentioned him earlier. There's been 7,394 people on Yahoo adding him. Of course, having that 20-piece last game, shooting it extremely efficiently, getting a big uptick in minutes. I don't sort of expect it to happen every game, but look, Koulibaly started the second half with Gafford leaving with a thumb injury for a little while there. But you know what? He did grab it by the balls and have a really good game. Again, Chris Levert, we mentioned it earlier. He's 63% rostered, which means he won't be rostered in all your leagues. The 92nd best player should be rostered, especially with how many minutes he's been playing. He's been the first man off the bench basically all year. Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland do run this team, but Chris Levert coming off the bench, he definitely runs that second unit. People have been getting off Jordan Hawkins. And look, he has been okay. He did shoot 3 of 13 in the last game in 27 minutes. Of course, he was phenomenal with that 31 point game about a week ago. But he still played 30 minutes, 41 minutes, and 27 minutes. Dyson Daniels was really good the other day. So people jumping off Hawkins, I think that's a bit premature. I wouldn't be adding Hawkins, but maybe just keeping a bit of an eye on him. Dyson Daniels played his best game with those 17 points in his last game. Just keep an eye on Jordan Hawkins. It's still probably McCollum's position is still probably Jordan Hawkins. Look, we have Jamie Jaquez Jr., the other Triple J in the league, playing for the Miami Heat. He's played 38 minutes and 32 in the last couple, with 20 and 11. Been getting a few rebounds. He got 5 in his last game, 2 in the one before, been chipping in with a couple assists. Look, a stream option maybe, but he's not somebody I'm looking in the day ahead. Nicholas Batum, 2,335 players have added him. I have seen his minutes uptick, which I do really like. Of course, terrible news with Kelly Oubre Jr. Getting hit as a pedestrian the other day. Nicholas Batum plays a similar role to that sort of Kelly Oubre Jr. Probably not as creative with his shot. But yeah, 33 minutes in his last one. Didn't score overly well. The opportunity will be there. He's played 17, 26, 26, and 33 since becoming a member of the Philadelphia 76ers. Has been chipping in with a couple of rebounds, a couple of assists in each game. But I don't think Batum's rosterable at this stage. Sorry, guys. I understand adding him. 2,000 people are having a punt on him. Sammy Hauser, he's getting brought in just for that 3-point shooting. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Keontae George started the other night. Mick mentioned it last week. Keontae George is probably the future. Look, went and scored 7 points, got 9 dimes. And again, on your waiver wires, you don't often find people that have the upside to get 9 assists. I really like it. That was in his first start. And then after that, he got 11 assists. Look, in 30 minutes, basically every time he's played over 30 minutes, he has averaged 10 assists this year. I really like Keontae George's game. The Utah Jazz probably aren't going to be making a lot of noise this year. I think it's better off that they start Keontae George than somebody like your Taylor Horton Tucker. Yeah, really like it. Andre Drummond, 1285, people adding him. He's just a streamer. Look, he's been getting like 13 minutes a night for the year. He's not somebody I can consider bringing in unless I really need a couple blocks. He actually gets really good steals for a big man, 1.3 for the year in only that 12 minutes that he's been playing a night. But look, it's really hard for me to bring in Andre Drummond, even with the shit fight that Chicago is. Duncan Robinson, 1170 people adding him. Had a pretty good game in his last one, 26 points. That's been his season high for the year. Can get into single double digits pretty well, but you know what? He's played north of 30 minutes 4 times in his last 5 games. With some of those injuries in Miami, Duncan Robinson could be somebody that you're looking to add, but he's just as likely to score 5 points as he is 26 points in his 30 minutes. Look, there's still people dropping Andrew Wiggins, and I completely understand it. His minutes are starting to drop. His minutes are starting to waver. I've been holding in some leagues. He's been dropping every day. He's somebody that I am probably considering dropping in my leagues. He's been the 224th ranked player and just pretty ordinary, to be honest. That's everybody that's over 1,000 pickups. So good luck admittedly, there's only the 4 games. A really short podcast tonight, but just add you guys, get some guys on this. I suppose this short day, because there is some bigger days coming on later on in the week. You've listened to an Insight Fantasy Sports podcast. Cheerio.